every day is costing me money, so I would say yes. I pay all the fees to get this rolling.
So,
Insurance is not cheap.
right, and you've
I
already,
just traveled from Dallas, Texas to here in an airplane that I purchased to put on the line. So yeah, I'm burning money just at,
what does that mean to put on the line? I'm not an airport guy.
well, to sell, when to use it.
Oh, you bought it to
Bought it.
bring it here to sell it?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's part of my inventory.
Minor. I don't know anything about airport. That's why I'm asking all these questions. With whatever he indicates he wants to do on this FBO, is that what he's limited to, or on this FBO application? Excuse me.
Well, I guess that would be up to Paul. This would be based off what the ordinance says, I would think. Correct, Paul?
That's correct. But I would say that any related ancillary use would be inclusive within it. You can't ever have a list that identifies every last thing that's going to be done. It's just similar to how we would deal with conditional uses.
Councilman Bundy, I think we circle back to the original question. Did we follow the ordinance correctly? And if it did go to an airport committee, I would assume that the airport committee's sole purpose in reviewing this would be to make sure that everything was done in proper order, which would put us back to the exact same spot we are now, where we're looking at somebody that wants to open up a business. And based on our attorney and based on your clarification, it looks like, well, it doesn't look like we followed the ordinance. And so as a result, I make a motion that we approve the application for FBO license at the city airport for Thomas Hogue, Altitude Aviation Services LLC.
I'll second it.
The motion second, I'll call for the question. Councilman McCain?
Aye.
Councilman Stokes? Aye. Councilman Bundy? Aye. Councilman Brennan? Aye. All right. Run down to discussion decision on lease payment for golf restaurant during the city building closure. I brought this up just because the Brandy is, she's closed down quintessentially, open to, restaurant business, and her lease is set to go this month, right? Up?
May 1st, it would have went up to 625.
So we had a conversation with her, and so question I'm asking, can we leave it at the lower rent until
When she was able to completely open,
which was stage 4?
I believe.
Mid-June? Or wait. Yeah, because I think we were talking about you're only allowed 10 to 50 people, and then it's based on square footage and total private 10 to 50 people, or appropriate physical distance, and precautionary measures are observed. So I thought I'd come ask. I told her I'd ask for you guys, and but her sales are down quite considerably. So.
So we're proposing leaving it at 425 until she can go to 100% occupancy. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Or October 1st,
October 1st.
Or whichever one.
whichever, and then you were gonna readdress it if you had to October 1st, because October 1st it goes up to 450.
That's fair.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
are you asking for this, or is she asking for this?
Well, we both are, because I was talking to Nina, and I'm like, I don't know how she's making it with no sales. And so we talked and asked her, how her downtown was doing and with that. So I told her I'd ask.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Brennan?
She's still able to sell, though, I think, like a lot of restaurants, and there's even been concessions to state law for her to be able to sell and deliver alcohol too, where, I see a problem with this because she's in a city building that is really low on rent with city supplied equipment, but none of the other businesses in town are gonna get a break like that on their rent. You know, especially not handed down from the city government. So I can't see approving that when she's still open for business. Maybe not 100% in the dining room, but she's still selling product. And I can't testify to whether she's making profit or not, but there's a lot of other businesses in the same spot that can't get the same help.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stokes?
I take the opposite approach from you that, I'm sure she's still open and selling stuff, but the volume of sales is not there. And I wouldn't want to further hinder that business.
I think TJ's even down quite considerably. I don't know.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
I also feel like if Brandy wants this, she should be here before the council asking for it. I mean, that's my opinion. So,
I can have her come on the Monday one.
sure.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stokes?
when's our next, rent payment? Is it next month?
June first.
Okay.
She just paid May 1st.
Okay.
So, June 1st.
So there's time to change it if she comes before council.
I'll write it down. Okay. Is that, you guys are all right with that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. We'll run down to special decision organization functions using city facilities, buildings. This one was general city buildings. We have a couple of, who's the one that wants to use the street shop? They want to start going again.
Narcotics Anonymous.
And then functionalities of the other ones like golf course. Do we want to, what was it, men's league, women's league? Go ahead, somebody.
I think on the golf course, the men's and women's league have been functioning for a week, and I think both organizations came up with really good social distancing practices. And so I personally don't have any problem. The golf course is open. They're just following social distancing, and so I don't have a problem with the men's and women's golf leagues continuing to do on their afternoon and their Wednesday evenings. So once they have proper in place, social distancing in place, I don't have any problem with the men's and women's league. The other one I haven't really looked at yet.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, Matt.
I spoke with one of the ladies from the Narcotics Anonymous, and I had told her that unless something changes, that we were not going to let public back into the city buildings until at least June 1st. And then that was based off of whether or not our numbers climbed or not. So I had told her June 1st that if you want to let her back in there before then.
Aren't the ones that were there, and then
These are the ones that were at Parks and Rec, and we moved them to the street shop building.
okay, so that's where they want to go back in.
They want to go back in there
Okay,
whenever,
just follow
they
it.
were okay when I told them June 1st, but
Okay.
I just said, because right now we have our city buildings closed to the public. So I didn't want to let them in there and risk the street workers that are going to be exposed to them being in that building in the evening.
And then also go back to pro shop, you know, since we have it all closed down to everybody. I know TJ would like to open the pro shop up.
That doesn't follow the,
That doesn't follow the guidelines.
so we should still continue to follow the guidelines.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman Stokes?
I also asked around about, them possibly using the Western County room, because they had a couple public rooms back there. So that might be a viable option for them.
We spoke that last night too. We
Yes.
had this big conversation, moving to the rec district.
Which group are we talking about?
Narcotics
Narcotics
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Because they threw the fit about our jail area.
No, Tiffany wanted to do her programming at night, and it was during their meeting.
They didn't want to go.
They didn't want to go.
Yeah, they didn't want to go to the street department. Okay. Thought I'd ask. All right. Discussion the cost of for the city to continue to offer hazardous waste day collection and proposed received from Sterile Cycle Environment Solution. We get Tip on the phone really quick, so you can ask her some questions.
Come here, Rich, come in here too.
Rich, we gonna come in here real quick?
Hello?
Hey Tip, it's Mayor Sykes. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. We're on the item number 6, new business, the discussion decision on the cost of the city to continue to offer hazardous waste day collection. So we just wanted to get you on the phone if the council had a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. If will you start it out for me, Tiff, and walk us through the costs and then what we're looking at?
So, Mayor and Council, we reached out to Dairy Cycle, which is the 35,005. They came recommended by Canyon County and Republic Services. I did not reach, when I talked to Liz Schwager with US Ecology, she didn't feel that they were in it for the money and they wanted to still partner and offer the program free to us, but I don't know. I think we'd still be in the same boat we're in today, where maybe it's unexpected as to when we could offer the program, like where they had an accident out there 2 years ago. We were unable to offer it the last 2 years due to that. But I think trying to find some budget money somewhere, I think is important to offer this program to our citizens. So the number Dairy Cycle ran off of was our collection manifest from 2017 and from 2018. Those numbers do include county residents, not just city residents. So when they dumped that day, that had county people as well.
And so would we have to figure out how to charge the county residents that monthly fee?
But I mean, that's really, I think it should be a partnership with the county. Truly, I do.
Okay.
I think if our citizens are going to pay, if it ends up in their utility bill, then I think we have to check photo IDs at the gate on our day and say, hey, if you live in the county, you pay $5 at the gate or whatever that number would be. But I do think it should be a partnership.
Okay. And so the county would, the county would collect that fee, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And everywhere I've called, like Ada County runs their own version. Canyon County, most of the time it's the counties that are absorbing this cost, not the cities.
But we would fund our own share, right? Because that would be the fee collected from the county for the hazardous waste.
I would think that would be the right thing to do, yes.
So it's a pay-as-you-go service.
Councilman Bundy?
Mr. Mayor,
Sorry.
So it's a pay-as-you-go.
Is it a pay-as-you-go or is it just a monthly fee of $1? What did it end up being? Like $2 a month?
Yeah, we roughly just kind of threw some stuff out with Paula was maybe you did 50 cents added to sanitation in the utility bill, which then that would roughly give you $36,000 a year for just the city residents. So we would be able to pay Dairy Cycle off of this estimate for one time during the year.
But we need to do it, so then the county people, where would we store all this stuff if they're only gonna come once a year?
No, you would have to host the day, you do not want to start storing the stuff. We do not want to be in that. A big problem with that is we don't technically know everything people are bringing. Like when they drive up that day, they're going to sign over that they don't have any of certain specific items. So you just want to, if we start collecting, then we're on the table if something is bad in that mix.
Like mercury is probably one you don't want to collect.
Correct.
So
And not only that, Mayor, we don't have space to store all the community's material.
So our gentleman that came in and spoke talked about one of the gentlemen had 15 gallons of used fuel, and let's say he were to get PCS'd, and we have a lot of Air Force people that work on their own cars and things of that nature. They come in, they come out, and then they go, "Oh, it's just a gallon. Let's dump it on my gravel." I mean, I think that's what we're trying to do is make sure people aren't dumping it into the yards or gravel or whatnot.
Correct, yeah. It's just, to some people, this is an important service to them, and to others, it's not. But definitely, and then there's a lot of education we can do outside of that. A lot of people don't realize we filled a lot of phone calls on used paint. What do I do with this paint can? I only have a little bit in the bottom. Well, you can dump it on a piece of cardboard and throw it in your trash can. But a lot of people don't know that.
Does it get the toxicity out of the paint when you dry it out?
Yes, because it's the oil that's the hazardous part. So, or just pop the lid off of it and let it dry, and then you can throw it away. Again, I think if we could push educational stuff plus offer the service, I think it's a big deal.
Councilman Brennan.
So just confirming, this 35.5 price is a once a year activity.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman
Still going?
Can I have one more? Sorry, yeah. Is what's it called? The place out in Grandview, past Grandview.
Oh, use ecology.
Use Ecology. Are they open for individual dumping, like to pay? Somebody brings 10 cans of diesel fuel and say, "Can I pay to leave this with you?"
Did you hear that, Tiff?
No.
Councilman Brennan wants to know, is U.S. Ecology open for just the individual to go out there and individually pay? Can you do that?
I do not believe so. But I definitely can email Liz and find out. And do keep in mind that we have set a date for 2020 for U.S. Ecology to come and offer it free to our citizens. So we might not have to worry about this until next year, but we do need to forward think it, I think.
Mayor? Brad had one first, then I'll go.
Oh, I forgot mine. Oh, I would suggest, doing one in the spring and the fall. So something like March or September, and twice a year, I think would be good. I know, Tiff, you bring up lots of concerns about the mixing and the storage. We don't know, honestly, what they're bringing us. I bet Paul would agree that there's a lot of liability there of us storing anything of any type of unknown chemical. And we also, Tiff, do you know, is this, this does not include pesticides, does it?
No, they do. I believe they do take them.
Okay.
So right now, we're looking at this year, U.S. Ecology is going to do a free one-day drop-off. So if we were to...
Correct.
Did she say correct?
Correct.
So if we were to add one this year, we'd have to do a special hearing to add 50 cents, right? Okay,
Public hearing.
public hearing, excuse me.
Yes, if you're gonna do 2 a year,
Then we'd have
you're
to
gonna
pay
end up having to charge about $1.50 each. I just took $100,000 because I took the 36.
Well, Tiffany, how long do you think U.S. Ecology is willing to do at least one free a year?
I think that's an unknown. We were doing them annually. It is obviously it's a cost burden to them, but then when they have the accident out on their site, and they were shut down, we were unable to have it. And then obviously we went in, this was supposed to be a spring event, and then now we went into COVID, so we've even pushed it out further. But I think we might put ourselves behind the 8 ball on this one if we don't plan ahead, is all I'm trying to say.
Okay, thank you.
And I got a question, Councilman. Do you want to go in front of the county commissioners, ask them if they want to partner or play with this?
That was my next question, is what are the commissioners saying? So I think we need to address what the commissioners say.
Mayor.
Councilman McCain?
I see there's some of these have quantities, TIFs, some of them doesn't. What if we have some of these that come in that it has zero quantity, but we have some of them come in, and if the quantities are less, is this figure dropped, or does it go up, or is this just, this is what it's gonna cost you for what you bring us?
Mayor, I couldn't quite make all that out.
Quantities, it's got listed of quantities. So if, let's say, all of our constituents bring less quantity, do we get am I correct? Is it
Right, do we get a
cheaper?
break on it? Yeah.
Or
Right.
Or do we get an overcharge if they bring stuff that there's a zero quantity on?
Correct. So those, like I said, those are based off of what we collected in 2017. I submitted that manifest, and then I submitted the 2018. So those are just what we've typically brought in. So maybe we collect less paint. We would then get a cost break on that.
So this could go down to
But we have
30,000 or it
not
could go up
collected
to
in
45,
years. So
50,000.
it could be
We
more
just don't
money
know.
this time.
So how about this? How about we'll go to the county, talk to them, see what they want to do, if they want to partner. So let's say the county doesn't want to do it, then if someone brought their stuff, then they'd have to pay like $5 or $10 instead of the $1 or whatever it is, or.
Yeah, I think that's what we should do is we set them a fee and
Yeah.
Well, if each
And
lawyer
I
is
would have to
paying
confirm
$1
that,
a
but
month,
if we just had to see if you're a
should be
county
at least
resident,
$12
you
for
would
them
pay
to
at the
do
gate,
anything.
whatever the cost is.
Okay. All right, well, council, do you have any other questions for Tiff?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stokes?
thank you, Tiff.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Tiffany.
Yeah, have a
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, Rich.
I just texted my contact in West Ecology. It says, and I asked about a normal person bringing something during the week. She said, yes, it depends on a few things, like what it is and how much, but they can kind of set something up that then you probably pay for something at a cost. So,
How far out there is that though? Is it white?
well, it's a good drive. Yeah. It's in White County. And,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yep.
So council, I'll go to let's see if I can get with Shelley Shelley and get on her agenda, just give them this printout, see if they want to. Was this printout, I guess I forgot to ask, was this for all of Elmore County or was this just for the city? That was based off of our statistics, right?
Well, it was based off of what she
Based off
collected,
of
and I
what
think
we
she
did.
collected it from everyone.
From everybody, okay.
right, it was the 2 hazardous
Yeah.
waste days, that, yeah, so was
Okay.
everybody.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
real quick, I have a couple thoughts on this, and forgive me for being a pessimist that I do so well at typically, but I think if we were to open this up for free for city residents, where maybe they pay a small fee every bill, everybody in the county probably knows a good friend that lives in the city. And I think to avoid that cost, they'll say, hey, can you take this with yours to the thing? And I think it moots that point of charge a minimal $5 or $10 fee for county residents. Also, at this moment in my life, I'm not willing to ask the citizens to pay a fee for, even if it's 50 cents or $1, for something that I think the vast majority, and that's my personal opinion, the vast majority of citizens have no need for this. Right? If we can truly dump paint, which almost every citizen uses, in a fashion of drying it up or just painting a piece of cardboard and throwing it away, I don't think the vast majority of people have oil that they need to throw away, or gasoline or diesel fuel, or maybe some pesticides. But if I have leftover fertilizer, I'm going to put it on the lawn and fertilize the lawn with it. So just moving forward, I think I'm predicting that I won't be in favor for asking every citizen of our city to pay for this service.
Do you guys want me to go to the council, the commissioners, at least ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, run down to, well, what is it? Rich, you wanna give us I haven't gone around the room, so I'll have it, you're the only guy here, and then Chief Connor.
Tell us how everybody's doing.
Hey, everybody's doing great now. Mayor, council, it was, the four of us that were running things and doing everything every day for a while, they did a great job. So it's been kind of weird having everybody back last week that, just having it in our space. What are you doing here? But it was good. So everything, I think we didn't have any problems with anything. Luckily nothing broke. We didn't have any water leaks during that time. We did bring some people out to do some things that we had to get done. But everything worked well. We're moving along. We've been having a lot of Zoom meetings on the downtown project with Guho and Horrocks. So they're in the bidding phase right now for that. So So in your next, I think it's the June, that first meeting in June, we should have our GMP to see how much it's going to cost us to do that. I did put some pictures in there from that last storm that we had, and I've talked to quite a few people, and that's the most water that we could think that has fallen in 20 minutes. I mean, it was a good storm. And if you look at the picture, there's one there and that road looks awesome, and that was Main Street. So I mean, the water was really, there was no problems there. And if you look at the pictures that didn't, that was Second Street, and you can see there's a police car, there's a crew there, there's the bag or the Durango that's sitting there. That was there, so people didn't run into the curb because you could not. The water was pretty full. So so that's going to be a big improvement to that downtown, getting that first phase, and that's what's going to be in the first phase of Second Street. That's going to be the main portion of that is getting the big storm drain put in. So that we're looking forward to that. That'll be good stuff. So that's kind of what we have with those. Yeah.
Chief, you got something for us?
Not too much. We're hoping that we will have some new police cars coming here in a couple weeks. So we're excited about that. Aside from that, several of the guys were very excited about coming back to work. Things are well.
Good.
I deal with it. Things. Wells and stuff. So the water's always a good thing right now when we're talking about it, because something always goes down right when it's time to start opening things up. So, but we do have one well, 13, that's been down for, we didn't need to use anyway, but it's been down for I think it's 13. One of them, the Optimus Park one out there by So it should be. We got our cost was going to be put back together, and we have to have a couple of new sticks put in that were kind of worn out, some new bowls, because that's where the pump part was what was happening where there was bringing it up. So that'll be back online here. We're finally going to get a crew out here to finish that one up. The one by Taco John's was actually, it's offline right now because we had some brass in the filter. So when they finish that one, they're going to go over there and pull that one and see what's up with it. So, but we're good at Taco John's.
We
pulled it actually last year. So yeah, we pulled it. We pulled it a couple times here recently. So don't know what's, it's a major one. It does get a lot of use. So that's one that we have online during the wintertime a lot. So it's one of our main ones. It has a generator and everything. So, but levels have been great. We haven't had any big problems, no problems with that. Storage tank is awesome. So, nobody's seen, we had everybody was home in April. I think I gave you your numbers on the last meeting. I don't know if I put them on this one or not. Did I give you? I don't have it in front of me. But we did pump more water in April than we did last year, but I can't get everybody home. So, and it was a warmer one. I think people would put more water out. So, but everything's going good. So, not conflict.
Council, you got anything?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
for Public Works, the street paint on West Fifth looks great for that where we designated a no left turn.
Oh, yep, they put that in
line.
today. Yep, and so then they're going to hit a couple spots where there was some spots by some schools that it's on the concrete. They want to get it down, but they can still see some things. But yeah, they got that today, and I was going down Main Street, and a big truck turned right. I mean, Went right around there and headed out to Marathon. I watched it turn. The sign's right there. I was gonna stop and say something to him, but I didn't do anything. So, but you know, it's like, can you not see the sign right there? I mean, they almost hit another one. So, but yeah, just gonna take some education on that not going that way for the trucks, but it's amazing you just can't see that. So, but thanks for noticing that, Council. Yeah, that's good.
Any other council?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Stokes?
I'd like to, I appreciate the citizens coming to us. So I'd like to thank Mark, Tom, Brian, Ted, and Tom for coming and voicing their concerns. I appreciate that.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Bundy?
I have a question/request. We were given our budget books last Friday, and I would, after looking at the budget, I think that our departments are a little optimistic in their requests. This looks like a good 15 to 20% increase in funding. I would like the budgets to go back to the departments, and I would like to see a budget come in at about what they were last year, and they could add the 3%, and then they can give us a list of what they want as their overages. Because right now, and I don't want to give any specifics because that's showing biases, there's some things here in our CIP requests that are, I just don't see why they're there. I would like to have another look at this budget book. I'd like to get a budget that's more in line with last year plus the 3%. And then feel free to give us a list for what you want over what you did last year. But for all of our desires to just be thrown into one budget, it doesn't seem like the best way to go. You know, when you look at the Idaho Code 50-1002, you got the, you know, we've got our budget office. There's a lot of people involved in this, and they're providing a great asset and a great help to the council as we come to our final decisions on the budget. But I would like to have another department head look at this with our people that are involved in it. We can involve the council if we need be. The problem with involving the council is if we go to one department, we have to go to all departments. So I'd like that done and then given back to us with a little bit more realistic budgets here, please. And I have no problem with whatever additional requests you want prioritized. We'll take a look at. But I'd like our initial crack to be a little bit more in line with what we did last year, plus perhaps our 3%, because we're also looking at reduced tax revenues, all kinds of problems from the state with sales tax, COVID, all kinds of things. So that's just my request, Mr. Mayor. If you could take that back to the departments and that would help.
Mr. Mayor, we're gonna need to know that from more than just one council.
I'll agree with them. I've looked at it some too. I haven't gone all the way through it, but I agree.
Mr. Mayor, I third that.
All right. I will sit down with my department heads and we will have some fun with it, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All I got is the downtown phase 2, as Rich talked about, the pre-construction and a public meeting tentatively scheduled for Wednesday, June 3rd. It'll be a Zoom meeting at 6 p.m. and that will be hopefully trying to get all the public and everybody on there. And Courtney said it'll be, she'll be able to do a question and answer somehow with it too. So that is June 3rd at 6 p.m. Zoom meeting. And then the GMC,
Now you forgot what.
I can't remember. That comes to us the 8th of June. CGM or GM. I can't remember that. That one comes to us to the June 8th, supposedly, tentatively. And then after that, they're going to do this month, they're going to get with everybody, not everybody, let me rephrase that. May 28th to 29th, the GUHO team will be walking north 2nd East to meet with businesses individually and talk to them about, they want to get introduced to all the guys from GUHO. That'll be like Rob and Anthony. And so they can go, if they have a complaint, they go to Rich or they go to Rob, usually, right?
Rich Perez, they have one of the same guys that they had down here, Rich Perez again. So
Yeah.
Rob.
And then talk to them about how they're going to help their businesses and keep it open. the way they can walk through it and all that good stuff. So that will be the 28th and 29th of this month. Police Week this week, right? So shout out to all of our police officers. Thank you. Thanks, Chief. Tell your men and women up there, thank you for what they do. And the flooding downtown, I went and drove it, and it was just crazy to see Main Street completely, not dry, obviously, but working. And then Second Street, it'll be a huge relief to get all that water into those the storm runoff. That'll be huge for all those businesses down there. Food. Will you pan there really quick, Mike? So I still have quite a bit of food. I still have funding available. So if people are in need of food, please feel that they can get us at food@mountain-home.us or call City Hall at 208-587-2104. And we'll do a delivery or a pickup, contactless delivery. And then the 20th of May, councilmen, we're going to drill that pipe, or let me phrase it, drill the hole for the county over by the highway district. I go and pick up the pipe I'm going to go up the 19th, pick everything up, and then Kyle will hopefully start the drilling that morning. I'll come back with the pipe. We'll fuse it all together and pull it through. And that was 360 feet, right?
Yeah, 180 each line.
Yep. And so, we're renting that Fusion pipe splicer, and we'll get it all done that day. So, you can tell Bud, I haven't. Yeah, I did tell you. So I want you guys to know that we'll be doing that this month as well. So.
What was that date again?
The 20th of May.
Can we stop by and check it out?
Yeah, I'll be there. Fusion pipe. And that's at the highway district. The highway road.
Ashburn.
Yeah. So. All righty. Anything else, guys? Ladies? All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys.
I think it's Ashburn. Pretty sure it's
I can't think of what the name of it is.
Ashburn. Pretty sure it's Ashburn.
Paul,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Next week.